so good. Like everyone already talked about what I wanted to talk about. So it's like well, okay. But I do want to say something before I get into what everyone else already talked about. I want to talk about just the youth in general because it's honestly such, not only just a blessing, but it's just so amazing just to see finally, like, not just as a worship team, just us, or just, as a leadership, but in general, just seeing, people just on fire for God and wanting, just having that hunger for more of Him and just to want to learn about Him, and even just being in this, like the simple group chats that Joseph and them just are setting up. It's just awesome to see that.
Man.
It's just I have no words for it. But everyone's talking about fire, the movement of fire, and spreading the fire. But what happens when that fire goes out in your heart? For example, like, what if something happens? Like, for example, we have the elevator on fire now, and you personally are on fire. But what happens when something happens in your life? For example, like, a loss of a friend or family member, because that can really just put it out, And obviously, it's tough because you just kind of just want to be by yourself and just you want to just do your own thing. You really don't want to tell anybody. You want to just do you. You want to just do your thing and you figure it out eventually. You know what I'm saying? But we all know that this is a team effort when it comes to reaching people and helping each other out, especially as brothers and sisters in God. Like when we just be there for each other, it's more than just having a simple conversation with them or going out to lunch, but it's digging a hole, but a good hole, not a bad hole, a good hole, so you can really just get in depth with that person. You know what I'm saying? So something like that can happen where your fire goes out in your heart. Sorry. I'm not trying to repeat what everybody's saying, so I have to go through this. But we all know that there's not just specifically one way to start a fire, right? I mean, Ivy did it with the lighter, but sometimes it can just be the sun, magnifying a specific little spot, and it can spark a little ember, and it can go into a fire, right? There's different ways to start a fire. So I was talking to my dad last night before, he's like, "Are you ready?" I'm all like, "Yeah, I'm ready." And I wanted to say it came from him because he told me something that really just it struck home, and I was thinking about it honestly all day today. And it says to fan a flame, celebrate what you want to see. Meaning, to fan a flame, when you see someone right here worshiping God with all their heart, celebrate that. Man. Go up to them like, "I love seeing that. That's amazing. I'm so glad that you're on fire for God. That you want to learn more about Him."
Come on. It's good, Mateo.
I believe that God isn't just a God of peace or love, but God is a God of fire, man. Like He wants us to be fired up. He wants us to be right here worshiping Him with all our heart, because at the end of the day, we know we're free. We're not in bondage. We're not in these chains. We're not doing what we were doing because we know that at the end of the day, that we're going to love somebody and that we're going to be there for somebody else, not just them, but somebody else is going to be watching right there. And eventually, you'll be able to, help that person out. And it's a cycle. And the cycle of that is technically you can call that the fire too. It just spreads, and it's just, you just spread that fire. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. In my own life, there's been times where personally, my personal fire has gone out. And for example, like around 4 years ago now, my grandma passed away. That really kind of affected us because she was honestly like the rock to our family, right? And that kind of just hurt, I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to be by myself. But around the last Elevate conference that we did, the one before that, 2016, was honestly that last night was, I can honestly say that from that point on, that a new fire in my heart has been lit. And ever since then, that I've always been trying to add fuel to that fire because, you know, at the end of the day, we know, and I know that we serve a God that's so good. And I just wanted to conclude it with this, and it's just, I've been listening to a song by Hillsong United called So Alive 100 billion times, and it's honestly been a song that's been, you know, in my heart for almost a month now, and I don't know why. Like all of a sudden, I'm just like, yo, like, this song's dope. But it's not just about being, you know, being dope, because I feel like, you know, there's just certain lyrics in that song is just so good, and I wanted to, you know, just rephrase it, just a few of them. For example, the stars are made to worship, so will I. Because we know we serve a God that already just delivered us from what we're doing and, you know, what sin we're living in. But He delivered that, so I'm gonna worship Him because He's just so amazing that He actually legit cares about me personally and cares about you personally, and you know, doesn't want to see us living in that sin anymore. Another one is, if the mountains bow in reverence, so will I. If the oceans roar your greatness, then so will I. And this last part is just, it gets me every time. For everything exists to lift you high, so will I. That is, every time I hear it, it's like, that's what I feel like in my heart. But that's basically all I had to say today.
Yeah,